What's better left unsaid? Hi, my name's Dave, and welcome to The Daily Stoic, 366 Meditations on Wisdom, Perseverance, and the Art of Living by Ryan Holiday and Stephen Hasselman. Today is February 22nd. What's better left unsaid? Cato practiced the kind of public speech capable of moving the masses, believing proper political philosophy takes care, like any great city, to maintain the warlike element. But he was never seen practicing in front of others. No one ever heard him rehearse a speech. When he was told that people blamed him for his silence, he replied, "Better they not blame my life. I begin to speak only when I'm certain what I'll say isn't better left unsaid." PLUTARCH, Cato the Younger, 4. It's easy to act, to just dive in. It's harder to stop, to pause, to think. I'm not sure I need to do that yet. I'm not sure I'm ready. As Cato entered politics, many expected swift and great things from him, stirring speeches, roaring commendations, wise analysis. He was aware of this pressure, a pressure that exists on all of us at all times, and resisted. It's easy to pander to the mob and to our ego. Instead, he waited and prepared. He parsed his own words, made sure he was not reacting emotionally, selfishly, ignorantly, or prematurely. Only then he would speak, when he was confident that his words were worthy of being heard. To do this requires awareness, requires us to stop and evaluate ourselves honestly. Can you do that? Ooh, that one hits home today, because it's, especially I think in our day and age, it's so easy to put out a tweet, anything like to immediately react on something without really taking the time to really evaluate what we're saying and understand what we're going at. The wise man, he waits, he prepares to make sure that his words has value. Like in my own life, especially younger, I used to always talk a lot of shit and would just say things just to say things to inflate my own ego or to kind of overreact on things without really taking the time. One of the things we talk about, in Stoicism is, all right, the Stoic is the quiet, stern one, but it's preparing, right? So that when we do speak, our words have value, they have meaning, they actually are heard, right? It isn't just blathering noise out into the blogosphere, to the Twitter sphere, to the world, right? Like when we speak, then you know that they have value, that it has meaning and weight because it's thought about. It's conscious thought versus unconscious or reactionary thought, right? Like how many times you say like, "Oh my God," right? Like it's recognizing that, and it does take a lot of awareness to hold back from the initial gut reaction, the triggers, and to be like, "Oh no, you're wrong." We're like, wait a minute, why are they saying that? Okay, why does this trigger in me? And then create a response, right? I really liked what he said, there too, of am I not reacting emotionally, selfishly, ignorantly, or prematurely? Recognizing where we're coming from on this reaction. So it's not reacting, but it's acting, right? Taking in the information and seeing kind of all right, how do I wish to answer the thing, answer the question, answer what's being said? And I think that does take a lot of awareness because it's so easy for us to just kind of go on our gut reaction. It's so easy to just act and dive in, to blurt something out without really thinking about what we're really saying. What's the message we're trying to convey to the other person? And, it's not usually what we say, but how we say it as well, right? You can say all kinds of things, but it's you can say the same statement, and depending on how you deliver that meaning, it can be interpreted in so many ways. So really being careful with our words, careful with how we speak so that it can actually leave the impact and that we're not devaluing ourselves, devaluing the other person, and it's creating that value that so when you speak, people listen. So many times people are always speaking and just chattering. I don't know if I've always thought this is an interesting situation, especially kind of in bars, or maybe you had friends of this that they're not actually listening, they're just waiting for you to shut up so they can continue talking about their own thing. they're not actually kind of like in there or in the value. So it's learning to kind of step back, recognizing, okay, before I speak, why do I need to say these words? Because it's action. There's energy required. Before you put anything out there, make sure that it's the right action that you wish to take. It's so easy to just kind of throw out like your gut reaction, but it takes a lot more to take the time, take a breath, and recognize why you're saying what you're saying and how you wish it to be perceived. And choosing your words, your tone, and how you say something is so, it's not easy. I'm not saying that this is a simple thing. It's actually much harder. This is what requires that discipline and that preparation that it talked in the reading there, of like really preparing to make sure that where I'm coming from comes from a place of value, comes from a place of understanding. Even with arguments that I have with my partners from time to time, try to be really careful with the words I choose and how I choose, right? It's not what we say, it's how we say it. Yeah, that's kind of what I got for today's reading. I would love to know your thoughts. Are you a reactionary kind of person? Do you kind of always kind of throw it out there, or do you stop and really think about what you say before you say it, or type it out, or put it out there, right? Like there are times where I want to put out something like, wait a minute, all right, how, I know this may be how I'm feeling now, but why? This is why journaling, I think, is important, to get down these thoughts and understand so that you can cultivate it. So when we're speaking to the public, like this is a public forum here, YouTube, right? Like when we're speaking out to others, that we actually have value, that other people understand and can see our point of view without immediately going into shutdown or ego, especially in arguments, right? It's so easy with the you shoulds or you coulds, and people immediately shut down. So recognizing that in order, sometimes silence is the better thing. Sometimes learning how to be quiet, allow people to really listen to what's going on, and then make a change. So that's all I got on today's reading. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Really appreciate each and every one of you that watches it and makes it this far. So grateful for all of you. And with that, I wish you a great, if not better, day. See you tomorrow.